as head of the Secretariat of the South Centre, welcome you and thank you for coming at short notice. I want to thank my colleague Vice and Shirley who are here, who has taken this initiative to call this meeting. This is the first of its kind. We in the South Centre are mandated to present a South perspective, but we live in a world where only one perspective is not good enough. We have to have dialogue with our friends of the North too. So this is an initiative, new initiative, and we want to broaden it in order for us to talk on all issues that confront us. The world is in crisis, in many dimensional crisis. There's a financial crisis, there's ecological crisis, there is a crisis of security in many areas, and there's a governance crisis too. The whole institutions of global governance were created in 1949, and many of them are outdated. The post-Berlin Wall restructuring addressed some of the issues, but even those structures are now outdated. We are in a new world. The gravity has shifted a little bit from the north to the south. South has a lot more wealth now, and so on. So there's a whole new world. And we in the South Centre want to have dialogue with our friends in the north. And I'm so pleased that so many of you are able to come to this meeting. We want to heartily welcome you here. This setting, as my colleague has said, is very informal. We might take some photographs, but that's for publications. But do feel free. We apply Chatham House rules in our meetings. The remarks are not attributed to the authors, so issue-oriented discussion mainly. I am no expert. In fact, the role should have been changed. I should have done the introduction, and the Vice should have been talking about the substance. He is the expert on climate change. But let me say a few words on this one. For me, the issue of climate change, as a non-expert, boils down to two major issues. One is the issue that I touched on, the whole issue of global governance structures of climate change. Of course, we have the UNFCCC and the IPCC, but there are also efforts made to sidetrack the UN system, both on matters of substance and matters of finance. But for me, that's an important issue. What are the global structures for making decisions that affect us all? It's a very major issue, climate change. And therefore, the processes by which decisions are made are extremely important. And that's one issue I hope that we might not necessarily address here, because we are going to talk on much more specific issues. The second issue that concerns me is the financial aspect. Well, we are talking about moving to a low-carbon economies, but the question is, who is going to pay the cost for that? Where is the money going to come from? For mitigation, for adaptation, especially for adaptation. Large issues. All kinds of funds are being created, both inside the UN, outside the UN, and it's important that we discuss the entire financial architecture on climate change as well. And that includes the whole issue of technology transfer. Myself, I rather call it technology collaboration, because there is an aspect of transfer, yes, but there are aspects of climate change that are known to the people at the community level too. Before I came to Geneva, I worked in Zimbabwe and Zambia and South Africa with local communities. And there people knew how to manage forests, how to manage rivers. It's when these things, resources were handed over to our governments and to our trade negotiators especially, that they surrendered our Lake Naivasha for trade, and they insisted we must grow flowers there so that they can be exported to Europe. And I think we have exported from Naivasha not flowers but water, because Lake Naivasha is dying. And we have exported from Naivasha in the form of flowers, dead birds who have died because they no longer have water to live on. So what are we exporting? Are we actually exporting roses for people in Europe to celebrate their family occasions, so are we exporting water and dead birds? The linkage between trade and climate change is not made even in my own institution here. So these are huge issues, aren't they? And I'm a non-expert. I just want to add my own welcome both to Ambassador Orwat from Denmark Mission and Ambassador Puja from the Indonesian Mission. I just do want to add one more sentence on Bernadetta Smoller, our colleague. She's advisor to the South Center also, advisor to me, in fact, on climate change. And now I'm pleased to know that she is the lead negotiator for the G77 in China, appointed recently, and I'm very pleased that she's here, and she will, of course, have a lot more to say. Let me not take more time.